Alrighty, guys. So welcome to a special episode of Around the Loop with a special guest. Actually, a native here from Oceanside as well. So just to let you guys know that Oceanside has a lot of talent. But we have no other than Ryan. Thank you so much for being on the show. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Thanks
I
for having
appreciate
me,
it.
yeah.
No problem. Thank you for letting me do this at your place.
For sure. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, this is the abode, the humble abode. I know it's a little bit of drive for you, so.
It's nothing but a G thing. I was out here actually visiting my mom not too long ago. So
let's go. Come on.
Took it as an opportunity, and I was like, why not? So I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So just to get the audience of Around the Loop to get to know you, who you are. Let's tell the world, let's tell the people of Around the Loop a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ryan. I am a writer turned songwriter. Yeah, man, I make music. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the main thing I do. But writing is kind of like my main focus. I have music out of my own, but I do want to just end up being just a songwriter for people. And even just writing scripts and stuff and like direction for film and everything. So that's what I've been trying to tap into lately.
That's really cool. Okay, and I appreciate that. And I just want to let the folks know of Around the Loop as well. You just had a live EP out as well. Just released. And I was actually just listening to it on my way here.
Oh, come on, bro.
I then checked it out. So I gotta do my research.
Awesome.
I gotta do my math. So I listened to, I believe it was 4 or 5 songs you had on
Yes, 4 songs.
Okay, yes.
Out of the 7, because I dropped the EP in July. We just did a live version.
I liked it. It was good. It was good. You can hear all the emotion. You can hear just everything that you poured into it, and it sounded really raw, really genuine. I liked it. I did.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
So I hope that the folks over Around the Loop get to hear this as well, and I'll put the link there so that everybody can check you out as well.
Thank you.
So I wanted to let's let the audience know a little bit about you, a little bit of personal about you. So let's talk about your upcoming. Your upbringing. So how was it, as your childhood? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up in a pretty safe neighborhood, but I went to school in like not the safest neighborhood. I grew up in the mid.
Okay.
Well, the Deep Valley first. Yes. So I like to put it like I was raised in the valley, but I grew up in the mid. So mentally, I grew up in the mid, but for most of my childhood, I was in the valley, Deep Valley, and went to Libby Elementary.
Okay.
So you know how that goes.
Yes, sir.
For those of you in Libby, it's not the safest area.
No, it's not.
But my parents did the best, and they gave me everything that I needed to, have a good future and everything. But somehow still started getting in trouble. My family moved to the Mid Valley and Fireside area.
Okay.
Probably like I'd say 09, 08.
Oh wow. Okay.
And that's when I really kind of just like stopped hanging out with certain people, and then just started hanging out with my family more, my oldest brother, and even my brother is a year older than me, and he's like my best friend now, so we hang out all the time. He's my roommate. He's upstairs.
That's a blessing, honestly. Yeah, it really is. Truly.
And I started hanging out with him more, and then man, we had a good childhood. Our parents were great, we just surrounded ourselves with the wrong crowd, really. Yeah.
And that's understandable. It happens, man. It happens. And sometimes it's more of like, it was the wrong crowd. And, for folks, it might have been actually the wrong crowd. And for you, it's like, oh, that was friendship. You were hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
So it's understandable. And being young, I mean, hey, it happens. I get that.
And the biggest thing for me, I mean, cut you off. But,
no, you're good.
My brother got locked up at one point. And that was like the big turning point for me and like our core group. I'm like, all right. He's like, this is some real shit. Like, he got in trouble, so we're just gonna kick back. And that's when I even started taking music more seriously.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about when. Do you actually remember when you first started?
So, I mean, even before that, I was writing like comic books.
Oh, what? Let's talk about that.
It was just, a lot of people don't even know this. I've never even said this. So, me and my brothers, when I was like in elementary school, we were writing. I was a big like illustrator. I like to draw. And then eventually we just started doing like storylines for like these comic books we're doing and like whatever it was. And then I just started writing poetry at one point.
Oh, that's dope.
So me and my brothers were just like doing poetry like together. It was like our thing. And then poetry started turning to music. Music started turning to songs.
Okay.
And I think I want to say 8th grade. I picked up the guitar. And And yeah, ever since then, I don't think I put it down. It was probably 8th grade all through high school. I was doing like shows with a band that I had in high school.
That's cool.
We're doing like a lot of high school conferences, a lot of college shows.
Oh wow.
A lot of like quinceañeras, a lot of debuts, which is like the Filipino version of that.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like when you turn 18, you get like a debut, and we're doing a lot of debuts. Mm-hmm. And when I graduated high school, like the whole band kind of split up, and then I started just working on my day job. Yeah. And I work in healthcare. I work in medical healthcare. Oh wow. So I've been doing that since then. Yes, I've been in healthcare.
That's pretty cool.
On the low. Yeah, no one even knows.
That's pretty cool.
So I've been in healthcare, and then I took that a little more seriously, and it wasn't until like 2019, 2020, I just started putting music out again, and I linked up with some of the old homies that I used to go to church with. My homie Obed. Shout out Obed.
Okay,
that's my brother.
I saw that, and I was like, and I know he's been super busy, but one day we'll get him on the show.
One of these days.
I'm looking forward to it.
I haven't seen him in a minute because he's in London right now.
I know it's amazing. I just saw a snippet of him talking about some tacos. Yeah, shout out to him, holding it down for Oceanside, even in London out there.
Yeah, we played in the same church band growing up.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
okay.
His dad was a pastor at the church we were going to, and one day they asked me to play guitar, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then, Obed, we had like different groups. We went to high school together too. We had different groups, but I'd see them all the time. And then we finally like kind of met. We played for a few years together in the same church band. It wasn't until like 2019 I hit him up because I saw he was doing music. I found him on Instagram like years after we graduated. I'm like, yo, let's work on some stuff. Like let's make some music. Let's write some stuff. I've been writing songs. I want to get back into it. And I remember that fool hit me was like, yeah, bro, but I sell my beats. Like, it was more like a transactional thing until we got, I got there and we clicked. Like, it was just like those old times. So that fool's like my brother now.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, and he was like really the one who kind of pushed me to like push my first single out and like really take this shit seriously. And I was like, all right. Even now, he'll give me pep talks. He goes, a lot of times with music, I'm just rambling now, but
yeah, no, you're good.
You want to have your stuff ready like months before.
Okay, sounds good advice.
I submit my music like the week of, and that's like my issue, because sometimes it doesn't make it, and then everybody's like, "Bro, you gotta do it like a month ahead." I'm like, I know. So he'll still give me a little pep talk here and there.
Hey, I didn't know that. I mean, for the folks out there, like for me, I mean, podcasts, either I make them super fresh, or sometimes the episode I filmed like 2 or 3 weeks ago for you guys. Yeah. Out there, so but
you're quick.
Yeah, I try my best to try to do like a return rate right there and then. So like for y'all that are listening to this is gonna be Monday's brand new episode.
It's
Friday. Today's Friday, so it'll be out Friday. Yeah, Monday it'll be out. So we'll be out there for you guys, and stay tuned for that. It's gonna be awesome. There's gonna be a video on YouTube. I'll post a link there as well, and then we're gonna have the audio on all platforms: Apple, Spotify, Amazon. What else? There's the list goes on. Yeah. The list goes on. It really does. So it's I'm super excited for that, and oh man, thank you. Like I said, I'm very thankful for this. Very thankful for you even taking the time to do this as well. And my mission is to share y'all's voice out there, share the talent that Oceanside has, because honestly, Oceanside's been having such phenomenal talent with artists, comedians. We have folks that are just giving back to the community. Whether they're Spider-Man or etc. Like there's a lot that Oceanside has. Yeah, it really is, and to show the world that we are something. We truly are.
Right.
And so okay, so let's talk about the first guitar. Do you remember the first guitar you picked up, or you still have the first guitar you?
Nah, dude.
I'm
so glad you asked that, because
I'm just curious.
It bums me out. It really bums me out that I don't have my first guitar. My dad bought me my first guitar in 5th grade. I didn't touch it.
Oh wow.
Until 8th grade. So it was a Takamine. I don't know how to say that. It was like a knockoff version, like a Jasmine acoustic guitar that I sold for like $40 by the time I hit like freshman year, because I got an electric guitar. I'm like, oh no, I don't need that thing, whatever. So I sold it to one of my buddies. Me and him, we just stopped talking for whatever reason, like back in middle school. Yeah. And I hit him up actually not too long ago, like asking if he still had it. and he told me that he ended up giving it to like a group home for people with mental health issues. Okay. And I'm like, I'm really glad it made it somewhere like, it's almost like full circle. Made it somewhere that somebody else could use it more because I wasn't even really touching it. So yeah, that was my first one. I am bummed I don't have it though, because a lot of artists have their first guitar and like that's the baby, but I got rid of that for $40.
Hey, and that's that, and I appreciate you sharing that story because it's like it is a unique story. It really is, and I mean it is served in a purpose. I mean it truly is. So in a way, it's not something to be upset or sad about. It's like, okay, hey, at least it's being used for something good, and that's a blessing there. Okay. So wanted to ask, like, growing up as a kid, like, anything that you guys celebrate in your culture. We want to talk about a little bit about you guys' culture, because I love to share this with everybody so everybody gets a taste and gets to understand a little bit of everybody's culture. Yeah,
I mean, I was born and raised in Oceanside, so I'm not like. Me and my brother had this joke where like we're like the least Filipinos that you'll meet, because like truly we grew up with all Latinos and like all Black people would surround us. So it's just like we grew up around that culture. But now, like nowadays, that I'm that I'm older, I want to learn. I want to dive deeper back into my culture. So I'm going back. I'm going to the Philippines in March.
That's all. I was just gonna ask you right now. Okay, so do you know what part or?
I'm going to be in Olongapo. That's where my family's from.
Oh, that's cool.
My dad is actually moving back.
Oh wow!
In like 2 months or something. I can't remember. Like I'm a horrible son. In like 2 months, he's moving back to the Philippines, and he has a house up there, so I have a place to stay and everything. So I just want to kind of just get to know my family more and get to know like where my dad's from, and like where he grew up, and like his struggles and how he got over here and everything. Because I don't really know much, and we don't. I think we overlook that a lot as like first generation.
It does happen. It's true. I mean, I'm same thing here. I'm first generation here as well. Like, so I definitely understand how that is. And the same thing for my pops out there. He's just built out. He just built a little house in Mexico out there. So we got a place out there as well. And he just left recently to go work on it again. And
so similar. Wow.
Yeah. So it's literally just the same as well. And one day he plans to move out there and just live the rest of his life out there, which is totally understandable. Going back to your home country is nothing better than that.
Must be so nice, actually. Yeah, just probably so relaxing.
Yeah.
I know my dad's stoked because he retires officially here.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, I think next week he retires.
Completely. Oh, wow.
He's full retirement, and he's living off of, in the Philippines, like the conversion rate for like pesos and the USD
so you guys
pretty big.
Pesos, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So like a little bit here goes a long way there. So like he's gonna be living like a king with his retirement here. So it's I'm super stoked. He's a hard worker.
I'm happy for him, and all those hard years of work is finally paying off.
Right.
That's good. It's time to finally kick your feet up and relax.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I don't really know too much about our culture.
No, it's all good, and I appreciate you at least were able to share some, and I do appreciate that, because that's something I've been just had an artist recently. He was half German and half Nigerian, so he spoke about both sides and stuff like that. So that was really interesting, and just learning a little bit about that and the foods and stuff like he liked and stuff like that. So, well, let me ask you: was there any favorite foods you liked growing up? It doesn't have to be like cultural. It can just be whatever you like.
Damn, that's a good question. I will say, both my parents are cooks. They're both chefs.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, they get down.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm a little biased. They even had a restaurant when I was growing up, so like that. Yeah, so I'm a little biased with Filipino food for sure, especially now since I don't eat it every day, and I've been living on my own for the past 3-4 years. So it's just like, I do miss Filipino food, and I feel like it's always gonna circle back to that. Home cooked meal.
That's true. Nothing beats that.
Yeah, dude. It's just get you all
it's
cozy. Yeah,
it's like comfort food. It really is.
Well, what about you?
Oh, well, for me, it's oh man, like I usually I'm able to still hold it down, so I usually cook like all the Hispanic Mexican food out at home for my lady and stuff like that. So I'm blessed that I paid attention to my mom when she was cooking and stuff like that. And but no, nothing beats a home cooked meal. Nothing beats a home cooked meal, man. It's like
I guess that's my answer. Anything home cooked.
So for me, home cooked, like really like my mom's chicken noodle soup that she makes, or either green pozole that she'll do, or tamales. I mean, I can do that too as well, but it's like there's a difference when they do it. There's a different touch. Same ingredients and everything, same thing.
Something happens though.
There's a magic
during
touch
the process. No, I guess that would be the answer though. Like if I had a favorite meal, it's anything home cooked. Sure.
Yeah, that's what it is. It is because it's the comfort of it. It's the comfort and just the nostalgic feeling of it.
Right.
So yeah, that's for me. And then what about like music growing up? What what did you listen growing up to? Did it shape to who you are now?
Yeah, more recently, my dad was a huge Beatles fan. We have a huge Beatles thing up here too.
That's awesome.
Dad was a huge Beatles fan. My mom, kind of the same. My dad listened to a lot of rock growing up, and then my older siblings were into like hip hop heavy. And then I have 4 sisters.
Oh, wow.
One of them was involved in the skateboarding scene. So like one of her ex-boyfriend at the time was a pro skater.
Oh wow!
I don't even know his name. Don't ask me his name. I don't know his name. I was so young, but they put me on to like punk and like there's this like subgenre of like hardcore, hardcore music in Oxnard because she spent a lot of time in Oxnard.
Okay, time to learn.
Called Nardcore.
Okay, put me on. Okay.
And bro, there's just a bunch of bands. Yeah, I'll put you on. So I'll give you a playlist. But I got into like hardcore pretty early on. I got into screamo.
Okay.
And pretty much all through like middle school and high school, it was a lot of screamo, a lot of rock, and it wasn't until like it's so funny like now because when I graduated high school, when I started putting music out, it was R&B.
Oh, okay, that's
it's a complete
that's a 180 right there.
And I will say on that, the only reason I started putting R&B music out is because it's the group I'm in, and shout out The Side. The Side is the group I'm a part of, and. They're like just a collective, a bunch of artists and everything that they're trying
That's
to
really
put
cool.
On. Yeah, and I think I was really just trying to fit their vibe, really, like if I'm being honest. But more recently, these fools are just like, when are you gonna put your stuff out? Like, and I'm starting to put stuff that sounds like me more, a little more indie rock, a little more like folky almost, and they love it. And I think starting off, I was just afraid to put that out because I was like representing them, I was like,
and it's understandable.
It was the brand and like, bro, no, do whatever you want. I'm like, oh, cool, let's do it. So
that's really cool that you have that full support. That you have that full support from them.
My dog. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And then, so I wanted to ask, like, have you toured yet? Have you gone on any? It doesn't have to do anything big. I mean, any big stuff like that or.
For the last year, I was doing a lot of backup singing.
Oh, that's cool.
For Obed.
So
that's a lot of his shows. He'd take me to a lot of his shows. I did a lot of just backup for him.
And how was that? Let's talk about a little bit about that process. Like, maybe like, how was it when being on stage and seeing?
Oh, it's the best.
Can you imagine like all the faces you see there?
I'll say I wear glasses. I'm not wearing them now, so I can't see that well.
I feel you. Without these, like
it's just I can't even see what we're filming on. it's all blurry. No, but truly, I don't have my glasses mainly on stage. It's a little easier for me to sing because it's like I do get nervous still and like.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you too about that. Like
you kind of get those butterflies.
People still get that feeling. So how do you overcome that?
I just feel like, respectfully, a lot of the band members are a little more nervous than I am. So I'm like, I'm chilling. I'm fine. But yeah, I did a lot of stuff with Obed. I did a show with John and Obed at the amphitheater in Oceanside.
That's awesome.
That was one of the last ones I did with them. Okay. And that kind of just got my foot in the door with performing, really. And before I was even with The Side, they had me open for one of their shows.
Oh, that's really cool.
So like, it was already like, kind of in ties with those dudes. And like, I've known John Gibbs since I was like in elementary school.
Yeah, shout out to him as well, because he came. Man, I was in high school when this happened, but it was way back in the early days. It was probably like, I want to say either 2013, 2014, something like that. But he came and performed at the Oceanside High School. I remember when he did. That was pretty dope. And then now he's
that's the guy
blowing up. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing all the talent that they have too. Hopefully one day we'll get him on.
Yeah, one of these days. He's also big. He just became a dad. So
congratulations!
Shout out John. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of got off topic. What was it?
No, you're good. So we were talking about like, music listening and how it shaped you. So like, Any childhood memories that you would like to share, or something, you know, for the folks around the loop? It could be anything you like to share.
Yeah, I mean, I think what really sparked my interest in music was like my dad. When I didn't have, like I said, I didn't touch my guitar for like 3 years after he bought it for me. So he played. Okay. My dad's played since he was a kid. And,
oh wow.
You know, just watching him, even just like him fucking around like on the guitar in the living room was like, damn, one of these days I'm gonna learn, and one of these days I'm gonna be better than him. Like that was like my main goal. Like I want to be better than him, because he's great. He's a great guitarist. He's a great singer. My mom was a great singer too.
Oh, that's awesome.
And like, you know, being Filipino, I'm sure it's the same with Hispanic households. Like a lot of karaoke, a lot of singing in the house.
It's true.
And everyone somehow can sing, you know. But yeah, that was kind of the main thing, just seeing my dad play the guitar, and like that was like really the push I needed. And being a Filipino American, it's like it's not always they want you to be a musician. With my parents, it was completely like, do whatever you want, like whatever makes you happy. If you can like truly, if you really want, you're gonna figure it out. So like it was never like you're gonna be a nurse or you're gonna be whatever the stereotype. Yeah, you know, it's just like whatever makes you happy, whatever you just figure it out.
That was yeah, similar to me growing up as well. That's kind of the same thing as well. It wasn't like we were pushed to be a certain something. It was just whatever we chose to, and
which is so great.
Yeah, having that liberty of choosing.
It's so
what
rare.
You do. Yeah, it is. A lot of the times, it's either parents are trying to live their life through their children.
You. Yeah.
It makes
so sad,
and it sucks because it's a lot of stress on a young person like that, and it's unnecessary. It really is.
And it makes you think you're doing something wrong.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I have a lot of homies who like, you know, went that route or whatever route it was just to make their parents happy, and they just weren't happy. You know?
Yeah, it's a forever chase, and it's like, okay, now you satisfy them, but now you're not satisfied, and it sucks. You're forever chasing that. It's a forever chase. And there'll be a time and point where you have to learn to accept it, and you got to do you. You know, you'll still have the love and support from your family, friends, and parents, and all that. But sometimes you gotta buckle down and love yourself. You gotta really take care of yourself first.
Like even now, like I felt like I'm starting music pretty late in my career, but you know, I wouldn't have it any other way, really.
No, it's a blessing. It's a blessing because it's like, I don't think there's ever an actual age of you know, when a person can start or shouldn't start, but you know, if you got the talent for it, and you truly do, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So like, you know, keep it up, and but no, it's not too late, man. I think you started at a great time, honestly. Yeah, you could have started maybe sooner, or who knows? There's a lot of people that did start like 13, 14 and stuff like that.
I mean, like I said, I was doing music in high school. I just took a fat gap. I was like, took a break and just focused on like the day job.
Which is understandable too, yeah. Because I mean, that's talking about day jobs. I mean, yeah, by day I'm low voltage, so people ask, oh, you're an electrician. I don't do electrician. And I say, oh, I work with data cabling. And they're like, oh, so you're Cox? And I'm like, no.
Stop.
I'm not AT&T either, so no. But yeah, that's a full-time job, and then doing this is a full-time job too.
Yeah,
so
people get to see the final outcome of your art and your, but this is hours of work.
Oh, so much. That's a big misconception, honestly, and being in this field and being in your field as well. It's like, folks don't understand how much time. I mean, some people think, oh, it took him 10, 15 minutes to write a song, or really it took hours and hours, and then you're preparing for videos and artwork and stuff like that. So like, I wanted to ask you like the process of all that. So the process of you making a song, let's go with that. So do you have a recording studio? Do you record at home?
I record everything in my room.
Okay.
So everything is literally upstairs. I have $100 microphone and like a $60 interface.
Yeah, you would have never imagined that.
Yeah,
your music sounds like $100 mic at all.
I like this thing too. Like, it doesn't matter. Like whatever you have, if you can truly, like, when it comes to just expression, when it's strictly just expression, you don't care. You don't care about the quality. You're just trying to get it out. Like whatever you're going through, whatever you're feeling, if you can figure a way to get it out, get it out. Even if it's just writing, bro. Like just writing in your journal or recording on your phone. Like I have homies who will record a full song on their phone. No mix, no effects, they upload it. And it does well. And it's just like, it says a lot if it's truly just expression. And on the other hand, there's people who are very flashy and who want to be like a pop star and everything, which is great. But for me, for my music, it's just truly just expression, and like people just relate to it, which is just a bonus.
Yeah, it's more of a genuine you.
Yeah,
so
it's just a bonus that they like relate to it and they like it, and I'm like, man, that feels great. Like, they're like, hey man, I really like understood this song was about this. In my head, I'm like, it wasn't about that at all. But I'm glad you found your own way to relate it.
See, and I like that. That's a really that's one of the politest things I've ever heard, honestly, from an artist. Because I wanted to ask you, like, have you ever had people come up and you just explained it. So, and the way you said that was the most politest way, because it's not a rude answer at all. It's very polite how you said it. You're not turning them down. You're not shutting them down. It's like, oh, your answer's wrong. No, it's like, okay, you have your answer. That's good. You know, my music was an inspiration for you. That's good. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome that you're able to do that for people and stuff like that. So like, when can you recall your first time, like your first, I guess your first fan?
Man, I don't even really see it as that. I guess. I mean, everyone says
supporters and stuff like that, and
other than like online, like I've had people come up to me and like ask for photos and everything, and say they like this one project I did, or like. Because I have songs I've written for people too, and they're just like, oh, I like that song, I heard you wrote it. I'm like, oh yeah, thank you. So, it can, throughout the years I get photos and everything, but even that, it's just like, oh, that's just the homie who wants a photo with me, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
No, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I remember, like, for me, I remember my first time I had, I guess you can say the first fan. So it was probably after, like, the 5th episode. The first 5 episodes of this Around the Loop podcast was filmed on a $20 mic from Amazon. Really,
the best.
Yeah, that's all it was. And so, I mean, it was doing well at one point, and I told myself, one day I'll upgrade to something a little better, not too fully expensive, just to show the world that, hey, you can run a full podcast with just the minimum things. You don't need a full studio and all this crazy expensive equipment. You really don't.
Yeah.
You don't. So you can make it all happen. It's just the determination and the will to wanting to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember having my first fan. It was a security, actually. I was working up in L.A., downtown L.A., actually. And pretty, like, close to Skid Row. Not exactly. Well, yeah, I won't say exactly where, but it was pretty close.
Wow. Yeah.
Pretty close. So, the area that I had to park at was gated and stuff. So, I mean, it was cool parking there. And I saw a couple light posts. And so I started going around posting flyers. So, when I first started the podcast, I did flyers with QR codes, because that's how I first started, was just QR codes by flyer. I didn't even have an Instagram yet. It was just by QR codes. I was doing that, posting it around, and I saw the security take a picture of it. So I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna ask me to take him down or something. He didn't say anything. So the next day I get back and it's 6 in the morning, and he comes up to my car and he's like, hey, I just wanted to say I really liked your episode. Like, you're doing really well. Like,
that's awesome.
And I was in awe, because I thought he was gonna tell me, he's like, hey, you need to take that down. Like, can't be doing that. And it was not what I was expecting.
That's so great.
So it was cool. Like, have that person shake your hand and just tell you you're doing good. So I remember that feeling too. So it's really cool. It's really cool. And so like, are you gonna be performing anytime soon? Are you have any concerts?
I do want to touch back on the process.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Only because I don't only record in my room. I record in my room, but I have engineers, and I have
that's awesome.
Obed mixes a lot of my stuff, and then my homie David mixes a lot of my stuff. So shout out to those dudes, because truly they polish it off but mainly I'll have the base layer, the blueprint of everything, like the first mix is what we call it, and then I'll send it out to them, and they just kind of clean it up for me or whatever it is.
So
those dudes are really a big part. And now my homie, my engineer David, is one of my best friends now. We met, dude, not even a year ago, probably a year ago we met, and we kind of clicked, and now he is getting into the production side of things. So now we're just trading knowledge at this point.
That's so cool.
So yeah, shout out to those dudes, because without them, what you're hearing is our final product. It's not just me. So there's it truly does take a village.
It does, and I'm glad you're saying that too, because the same thing for the podcast as well. I mean, a lot of it, 90% of it, I am doing by myself, and then the other 10 I do have. Shout out to Balance. He's the one that actually does all my cover arts.
Sick.
So he does the editing as well, and So yeah, I do have help here and there, and I'm very appreciative, and especially people sharing my stuff too. So it's all the help is amazing because it's a lot of work just doing it all on your own. It really is.
It's another full-time.
It is. It truly.
I say it all the time. Like I have a homie who posted one of my songs when I dropped it, and it was like the sweetest message. It was like, if you have 3 minutes of your time to really appreciate this art. And in my head, I'm like, damn, that's only 3 minutes long? Like, that song is only 3 minutes? That took me like 3 months to get together. You know what I mean? Like, it took me so long to get that song to sound like the way I want it out. But it's just crazy because people don't, they never think about the actual process of it.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask too, like, money-wise, because some people think like, oh, you drop a song, you're making that bag already automatically. That's not necessarily true. So like, what can you share with the?
I'll be full transparent. Okay. I have, in terms of the features that I have, I think I'm at like maybe like 200,000 streams.
Oh wow!
Like, and that's just with features that I have and everything, bro. I think I've made maybe like $180 just off of streams alone.
That's a blessing, though.
It is. No, I don't look at it like it's just it's very people don't ever see it that way. But do I think we should make more? Yes, 100%. Am I grateful for that $108? 100%. I do think people need to look at it more as like, how else can I support this artist, or your local artist or whatever it is. Like, you buy their art. Like, iTunes still sells music.
Yeah, they do.
iTunes still sells. It's $1 for a song, bro. If you could skip coffee for a week, you could buy 20 songs. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at it like in that perspective, you get $20. You could buy 20 of this guy's songs.
True.
And it helps this person out a lot. Go to their shows. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to make it out to your show. Go. You have to make that effort too, because people say it, but you got to be about it too. Yeah. And I will say too, for shows, like a lot of the venues, not every venue, but a lot of venues will only give you like 20% of the sales. So it's like, and you're paying a whole band. Like, like for me, I have a 6-piece altogether. It's 6 of us.
Yeah, so that's 6 mouths you got to feed. Right
and
there.
Like, a lot of times, like, I'm not even just saying this to like look like whatever, but like a lot of times I won't even take the cut. I was like, give it to my band. Without them, I'm nothing. I'm just singing over a track.
That's being very humble.
Yeah, really so like without just whatever, because I know like I said, they only give us like 20% half the time. So I'm just like, give it to the band, or we'll all collectively like, let's just go buy dinner.
True.
Because you know what I mean? Because it's definitely not fair. The industry's not fair, and like, because you're putting you're really just expressing yourself in front of the people and just like hoping they like it, I guess. And yeah. Do I think we should make more money? 100%. But there's other ways to support artists other than just listening to their music.
No, it's true.
Buying their merch is a good.
You got any merch out too as well?
We sold out. Thank God we sold out. Yeah, we sold our first one. Awesome. So yeah, I do have some CDs for sale, but we're working on getting the T-shirts back.
Okay.
And we're working on a bunch of other stuff. So.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that, and definitely spreading that out when you got that out.
Man.
To show that love as well. And also even cop some merch from you guys
I'll
as well. Show some love. Yeah. I gotta do that, man. I gotta show everybody some love too as well. So because some people have asked me too, like, oh, Gio, have you made any money off this podcast yet? And on my latest episode, I just dropped it like today actually. I spoke about it, and it was starting an LLC. I wanted to LLC myself and make it 100% official, but the issue with that is I'm not making a single dime yet. So I gotta grind, and then to do an LLC, to be real with you guys, there is fees and stuff. Go with a professional company; they'll set you up correctly.
It's a lot.
Because if you don't do it right, there's jail time. And I like showering alone. Just saying.
Man, and taxes and all that stuff.
Tax fees $800 for first LLC. Just let you guys know it's real. You can't avoid that. You gotta pay it.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna pay all this money, basically $1,200 just to set up, and then.
Hopefully.
Not make it, hopefully, maybe I'll get some money that year, but it's like maybe I gotta wait till I get my first $1. Once I get my first $1, all right, let's buckle down. But honestly, I've been doing this. Yeah, it's a full-time second job, and I just do it out of love. I genuinely love what I do, and just love getting to meet all these people, and yeah, it's a blessing and an opportunity. So let's talk about merch. Like, who comes up with the ideas for merch?
For our last run, my homie Genesis.
Okay.
He has his own company called The Quiet Place. Shout out Genesis.
Oh, that's cool.
And he does like one of one pieces. So he makes jackets from scratch, pants from scratch.
That's awesome.
Crazy designs. And he hit me up. He goes, "Yo, man, for the live show that we did in August, he's like, I know you're doing a show. Let me make you a shirt." So he made me like a button-up like rugby shirt to wear at the show. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Handmade. Like he made everything from scratch, the design, everything. So I wore that for the show. I was like, "Bro, if you're down, like, can you design a shirt to sell?" And it was like, it's actually that frog that's on the wall there.
Oh, that's badass.
That I used for one of my songs called, it's a song called Torn.
I was gonna say, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so that was, we used that as one of the covers for a song, and then we put it on a plain white T-shirt, and it read, it was one of those like novelty tees from like the 80s. It was like, I went to a Ryan Monolili concert, and all I got was this T-shirt, and it was one of those, and it sold really well. But yeah, mainly just me and the homies. It's just like all the homies are like a part of this, and we all believe in each other. You know, no transaction, nothing. It was just all, we believe in each other. We're gonna do this. It's how it's always been. You know.
No, it's really good. Honestly, it truly is, because yeah, you have that full support from them. It's there's no better feeling than that, honestly. And so, you know, you said you just recently had your live show. Where was that at?
We had so I work with a nonprofit collective called Hill Street Country Club. Shout out Hill Street and Mindful Movement. And they have a space out here on Coast Highway.
Oh, okay.
That they do like donation based like events, and like
that's awesome.
They let artists use their space, like, and you know, no cash, no credit. It's just like we want to really just showcase local art and people who don't have that like access to things. So I met
that's a blessing.
I met Deja through Mindful Movement. That's her company, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm looking to do a show. Can you hook me up with Hill Street?" She got me a big meeting with them, and they don't let anybody in there. You know, they have to really show that you are about the community and you are for the community, and like you really want to push for the city and everything.
And
so
what did you have to like do in order to like?
Because you know, there's some people who are just looking for a venue.
Yeah.
And Hill Street, like they don't really charge people, like they don't really charge people for it. So it's just like, we got to make sure you're really about the community, or you're using the space. So respectfully, you know, I'm just being transparent on their behalf.
It's being honest, and I love that, because it's the truth. It's the truth. It's like there are people that are just there for the venue, and it, you know, if you're just there for that, then there's other places or other venues for you, and this place is about the community. So you really got to be about it. And if you're not, then hey, there's other places.
Yeah, and because I know like they're not going to speak about it the way I'm speaking about it now, because you know, they're all sweet. They're very sweet people. But yeah, you know, they will push for just artists, like art, really. So I got linked up with the venue, and they just let me use their space. And the way we set it up too is we made literally this, the whole living room. I bought the lamps in. We got a couch.
Oh, that's cool.
I used to have a carpet in here. We put the carpet out. We rolled it out, and it just looked like my living room. And the way I do my shows is, if you're whoever was listening comes to my show, it's a lot of me talking to the band. So it's never me really addressing the audience. It's just a lot of like, we want to show you guys how we have our jam session and how we do rehearsals. It's pretty much just a live rehearsal.
Okay.
So it's like, I'm not gonna be out there like, Oceanside.
Yeah.
How we feeling? Like, you know, it's like, that's not how my music is. My music is calm. My music is like, you know, it's meaningful, and like, and I'm not saying other stuff like that's not meaningful, but like for me, like, you know, I want it to be like, I want you to feel how I was feeling when I recorded this, and like the lyrics, I want them to hit. Like, I want you to know what I was going through. So yeah, we keep it super intimate. All the lights are super low lit.
Okay, that's cool.
And half the time, it's cool because like even the band like kind of will like, yo, that solo you did was crazy. Like mid show.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I think it feels good because it almost feels like people are just in my living room watching us jam out. And like that's kind of like how we've been doing all of our shows, and it's been like, been a good feeling.
That's awesome. And are you planning to do another show in the near time?
Yeah, I'm working on getting one out here at Brooks Theater actually.
Okay.
We're trying to do the same thing, like the same vibe.
So I can make sure I make time. I'll be out.
I'll send it to you
to
sure.
support.
Yeah, we're trying to make the same vibe. We're gonna set up like living room, and it's just gonna be. No, I haven't even said this ever, but like it's gonna be like a live rehearsal. That's what it's gonna be called. It's called live rehearsal, and yeah, it's gonna be like set up like my living room, and it's just gonna be like we're not gonna address the audience, none of that. It's just gonna be you walking into my living room and you're listening to us play, because that's how it is with rehearsals. There's like 20 people here, bro, and it's just like we set up right here, the drums, all the guitars, we set up in a circle. And then there's people on the stairs watching us. You know, whoever's girlfriend comes by, whoever's cousin comes by.
True.
Some of the neighbors will walk by. I'm like, come and watch us play. And it's just like a community thing, and it's, you know, they get to hear us play, and like that's what we want this next show to be. It's just like a live rehearsal.
I like that. That's really cool. And are you planning to get that on film too? And or how do you plan it?
That's the thing too. Like I'm horrible at planning. A lot of my homies are like, "Hey, I'm bringing 3 cameras. I'm gonna set them up." I'm like,
okay,
whatever you want to do. Like, cool, let's do it.
Got you.
Yeah. So that the live show we did in August, my buddy Sage actually filmed the whole thing, like 4 or 5 angles or something crazy. Oh wow. He's working on putting that together. That should be out in the next like month or so. So we'll have the full show on there.
Oh, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. No, that's awesome. And so, wow. Any tours? Do you have any tours you're planning to do anytime in the near time future, or something? You know,
not yet. I think it sounds crazy coming out of my mouth now, but like I'm really trying to push social media.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Which is so hard for me. I am not good at that. I'm trying to break out of my shell. For the longest time, I didn't want to be on camera. That was my biggest thing.
Me too. I have. It's so hard right now. Like people pointed it out too. They'll notice it. They're like, hey, Gio, you look up at the ceiling too much. You don't make eye contact. Yeah. I have the hardest time doing that. I genuinely do. I push through. I try so hard. Like I'm still getting used to like learning how to sit right, because it's like my lady will point out the video. She's like, hey, kind of have to fix yourself. You're sitting a little like off. It kind of makes you look funny. And I was like, well, thanks. I appreciate that. So I'm like learning how to say how to like
constructive.
Yeah, and then I appreciate all that, because it's like if you're not being genuine with me and you're not being real, it's like, oh, then I think I'm doing great. Right. In reality, I'm just getting made fun of. So like, no, let's improve on it then.
So, and like that's cool. Yeah, really just trying to push social media this year and like be in front of the camera more, because unfortunately, like for the last year, I've been studying like algorithms and like how it works, and like it's so much. But it changes, bro. It changes rapidly, daily. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, really, I just got to push to be present and just be there. Because before, I would just be like, new song out tomorrow, hope you like it. And I didn't care. But ultimately, if I want to make a living off of this, I have to care. You know what I mean? If I want this to be my full-time, like, whatever it is, like, which would be a blessing. Because like I said, I'm just expressing everything. And, like, me and all my homies are just truly just putting our hearts into these songs and everything. But, like, yeah, just expression. But being able to live off of that is...
That's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, it's the ultimate goal.
And then generational wealth, honestly, like, being able to set up the future for our futures, like, who wouldn't want that?
Right.
And yeah, no, that's what I'm wishing for. You know, I can't wait to see that for you as well. Like, I know it's the same for me as well. Like, and it's cool because we'll get to see each other grow from this point on, and it's really neat. It's really neat. So, you know, I wanted to ask, like, is there any hobbies or anything else besides outside of music that you like to do, so we can let the world know?
I like to draw.
Okay.
I do a lot of, I paint.
Oh, that's cool.
Truly, whatever just keeps my mind going, bro. Sometimes I'll just sit there and like, I'll just lay in bed. Yeah. And sometimes I'll like play guitar for like 4 hours. I don't realize, which is great. Cool. Which is great. It's almost like practice. I like skateboarding.
Okay.
I skate.
That's sick.
I tried getting sponsored at one point. When I was younger.
Are you still looking to get sponsored?
Not at all,
I actually
man.
know somebody that will sponsor you today.
It's been a while, but I've tried for a really long time, and that was like my first love before music was skateboarding, and yeah, now it's just like I'll skate for fun, or like my homies are at the skate park. I'm in there, whatever it is. Other than that, yeah, music is kind of the main thing. I like being by myself more lately.
Okay.
You know, I like doing things by myself. I like going to movies by myself. I'll go to dinner by myself a lot.
So yeah, let me ask you about that because I'm more used to like I've done things on my own and I've solo doloed before, but I like the genuine company of people, and that's just me. But I want to ask you your experience. So how is that like going out to dinner on your own? Because I mean I've gone out for lunch, but I've never gone out to dinner by myself. So how is that?
I mean, you get some looks, you know. But truly, it's so funny because
I'm curious. Like this is legit. Like I've never asked.
A lot of the times I'll go to dinner and I'll write in my journal. Like,
okay,
that's just like my routine, like just to get whatever's on my mind. And like, I just like writing, and a lot of the times they'll send me out like a free dessert or whatever it is,
thinking food reviewer.
Think I'm a reviewer, and I'm like,
nice.
Honestly. This isn't a bad thing, you know. So I've never done a review in my life, but it looks like I have. So
hey, 10 out of 10, do it again.
Truly. So I mean, no, it's nice.
Cool.
It's peaceful. A lot of times I have my headphones on.
Okay.
Just like listening to music and everything. I'm not trying to be rude to like the waiters or waitresses, but like I do think to get through certain things and like certain hardships, you have to do it alone, you know. And a lot of times we rely on validation and other people, and that's what my issue for the longest time. So like this whole year I just been trying to be alone and just trying to figure that out, especially this past like month or so. Like I just been trying to figure that out, you know, just trying to be by myself. And like I go to the beach by myself a lot. I live 3 minutes from the beach.
Oh
like,
man, I miss the beach. I miss being able to just I lived out on the east side, so it was like a 10-minute walk down the hill.
Oh bro,
that was there. Yeah, and oh man, I miss that. But you know, early mornings just going to the beach. There's no better feeling. It's super calm. There's just a feeling like no other.
And then growing up in the Mid Valley, it's like I was never at the beach.
Yeah,
true. So it's like because, bro, I know people who live in South Though. They're not from South Though. They live in South Though. They have never heard of the valley. They've never heard of the Mid Valley.
It's like fascinating.
How long you been there? Like 7 years. I'm like, you've never heard of the Mid Valley.
There's people that are in the mid and the deep that have never heard of South O.
Exactly. And they're like, what's like? Oh, why are you at the beach? I'm like, oh, I live here now. Like I live by the beach, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro. I moved out of the valley, but it's so funny meeting these people who had like lived here for like 7, 8 years, but they think Oceanside is this like small sandbox that only stretches to the east side and like into Carlsbad State Street. Like they think that's what it is. I'm like,
oh
no, there's like this whole other community, whole other culture that people don't even know about. And like that's why I feel like I want to keep in my music, because a lot of my audience is out in South Though. A lot of my audience is beach like town. But I'm like, no, I'm from the mid. Like I want people to know that, and like that's where my roots come. Like you can't obviously hear it from my music, but like I got Oceanside tattooed on my stomach. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, sir.
I'm ride or die for my city, but it's like a lot of people only see Oceanside as like this beach, ritzy beach town.
Yeah,
especially nowadays.
Attraction now, because it wasn't like that back then, and it's a lot of gentrification has happened, and
it's unfortunate.
It is because it's like I remember when there wasn't hotels there; it was just parking lots.
The best, man.
You know, right
by
the
skate park right there.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, I remember the skate park there. I remember that.
People don't realize, before the hotels were there, you could see, if you were on Mission going down the hill, right before you hit, you could, at the east side, you could see the beach.
Yeah.
Now you can't see anything.
It's all blocked.
Yeah.
It's all blocked, and, and folks, I do my visits here and there and out in Oceanside when I can, on my own time, and things I've noticed out here, like, a lot of rude people, and it's like I was in the service, so like I learned my customs and courtesies real fast. Yes sir, no sir, yes
Thank
ma'am.
you for your service, by the way. I
appreciate that.
I need to tell you that. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man. I didn't do nothing too crazy.
Hey, come on, you still won.
Thank you. And people are so rude, and it's like, I'll tell them, I'll say excuse me, like, and I'll speak up, and I just get the nastiest looks. And sometimes I have to remind people, like, you do forget the city you're in too as well. I mean, we all love and stuff, but we'll remind you who we are as well. Like, not a problem.
You're from the east side.
Yes, sir.
Some people don't. For you from the east side, it's a tough area. Even
it is.
Growing up in the east side, it's a tough area.
It is, and it was too, because it wasn't there was a lot with that, and growing up, like, you know, I wasn't the homie, but I knew the homies and stuff like that, and
people
you know,
grew up.
love it. Yeah, it's people I grew up with in the community, and it does make you it does change you of who you are, and it makes you, you know, see the world a little different. It makes you be on your toes a little more. Because the world isn't rainbows and butterflies. It's not sunshines and butterflies all the time. Sometimes it's gray skies and big fuck you. But that happens.
Yeah, that
happens. And but it's how you make the best out of it. How you make the moment and stuff like that. Right. So you know, I wanted to ask: is there any shows, any movies, or anything that you like to watch on your spare time, if you have time?
One of my all-time favorite shows is Peaky Blinders is a big one.
Okay.
It's just like a bond me and my brothers have. We would just watch it together.
That's a good one.
Damn, I don't even know, really. I like a lot of the A24 movies. Shoot, man. Being a skateboarder, Lords of Dogtown was a big one growing up.
That's a good one.
Yeah, really. I don't know. I've been outside a lot. I've been going camping. I've been like.
Oh, okay, let's talk about that. So where's a spot that you went camping recently?
Julian, California. It's like an hour and a half away. It's not too far.
It's up the road from where I'm at.
Yeah, bro, it's the best. It's super inexpensive. I don't want to like. I'm trying to gatekeep this spot. No, but it's like $20 a night.
It's worth going out there if you make the time to go visit.
Yeah, and like you know, if you just want to detach from like whatever you got going on, it's a good hour and a half drive. Like it's like $20-30 a night.
Yeah, it's nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
no small town there. It's nice.
Yeah, and you just enjoy quiet, and that's like I'm getting to the age where that's all I want. It's just like peace.
Oh my gosh, I can tell you about that. And now being older, it's like I truly enjoy the peace and quietness when there's like, because it's like during the day I work my normal job. I'm out in the city. I'm either traveling from San Diego or I'm in LA, so I'm all around a lot of people. And then after work, it's like I can get away from the city. I'm tucked away in the valley, and I'm just far deep in there.
Right.
And it's nice because I get home and it's.
Oh man, I can't even. I'm jealous actually.
I can't wait to invite you out there. It's so quiet. It's just the feeling is like no other. It's like that true connection to nature and stuff like that. It's peaceful. You don't hear the nasty cars, or you don't hear people yelling, or me growing up in the east side, like big thing out there was the drive-by shootings a lot.
Oh, bro.
Like constant drive-by shootings at night. So it's like waking up and just like checking around to make sure everybody's still alive. I don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't wake up if I gotta take my dog out to the bathroom. That's about it.
The best.
So
and
it's
peaceful. Like I said, people don't even realize how the other side of Oceanside, people don't even know it's there.
I know, and it's so crazy. Even if you start getting deeper into like the Deep Valley, even in the San Luis Rey area too, like there's a whole community there as well.
Yep.
Like, and it's fascinating.
It blows my mind sometimes, but I'm like, you know what? If you haven't had business there, then you don't need to know about it.
Yeah, no, and it's true because and it's funny you said that because my girl's asked me before. She's like, "Well, how come you don't know this place?" And I told her, I was like, "Well, growing up, like I had no business being snooping around this neighborhood or snooping around this city. Like
I don't know the East Side at all. You know what I mean? I know homies that are from there and people I grew up with that like were from there." But it's like I don't spend my time out there. I don't have any business there.
True.
You know?
No, and it's understandable. Same thing. It's like I now I know mainly all of Oceanside now, thank God. But before it's like I didn't know the Deep Valley too. I had no business being out there. And no, and I totally understand that. I understand that.
Yeah, and I think how did we meet? We met we're internet homies.
Yeah, it was actually online.
Because I've never even met your brother. But we're like we've just exchanged, like we show each other love all the time because he's super dope.
Yeah, he's so talented. Big shout out to my brother, Hood One with his Hood One Media team and Soldier John on Instagram. You can check him out. Big love to him. But yeah, he actually it was him. He actually recommended me to you. He was like, "Hey, I want you to check this artist out. Let me know what you think." So that's when I started doing my research. I started checking out your music and everything. I was like, okay, Oceanside native. I was like, I dig this, and I was like, I can hear the just the emphasis and the emotion and everything you had in your music, and I like this. I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
And especially being from Oceanside, you know, I gotta show that love. I gotta show that love to everybody, you know, and share that voice.
Yeah.
And, you know, help each other grow, because that's what it's about. It's about helping each other grow. I mean, yeah, you can grow on your own. That's cool and all, but you help each other grow, you're gonna get further.
Right.
Than just doing it by yourself.
There's no ego. That's
that's the thing. That's the thing. It's the big ego trip, or being Mr. Hollywood sometimes, and feeling like you're so entitled to things, and it's like, take a step down. It's alright. Just relax. It's okay. Like, you're not. You know, people don't hold obligations. If you know, if something happens and it gets canceled, it is what it is. I mean, you just gotta take like a grain of salt. Like, oh, let the world know this is real. I'm not gonna be rude. This is real, so the world knows. But I actually was supposed to have an interview tomorrow with another artist down in San Diego, I believe. Well, we locked it in about a week ago that it was locked in for Saturday. Well, he never reached back with the location. I reached out to him on Tuesday. Didn't hear back from him. So I'm like, okay. Yesterday I reached out to him. Nothing yet. And I see the Instagram's active, and I get it, and I respect it. You know, and no disrespect to you at all. You know, for the artist. You know, hey, much love, and my message to you is this, and I'm gonna tell you, like I'm telling the world, this is for everybody to know. You know, when you are ready, hit me up. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to reschedule our episode. You know, due to the lack of communication, and it happens. Yeah. You know, and there's no hate on the artist at all. There's a lot of love still. There's a lot of love, but I also gotta be real, and I gotta be upfront and let you know, like, hey, we rescheduled because you lack communication, or it was because of me.
You're running business too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like,
business is business. Yeah. At the end of the day. And I get it. Sometimes, you know, people want to get paid for their time, and it's understandable. I get that. I mean, I've had people before, like, I had an artist that I do want to get on one day, but he definitely cost some money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I thought about it, and maybe one day I'll get him out there, just to get him out there. But yeah, like, so far I've just been blessed to have an opportunity. For everybody being on the show, just doing it out of pure love, you know, and I really appreciate your time as well, because, like I said, time is money too. And if you're just wasting time, like, you ain't making a dime.
I'm glad you asked me. Like, I don't do too many interviews. I don't like I said, I don't like being on camera too much, but like.
No, I appreciate you doing that too as well, because I've learned how to like be on camera as well, and you know, I appreciate you breaking that, you know, that comfort.
Yeah,
you know.
We weren't even gonna film initially.
No, we were just gonna do straight audio. Yeah. But, you know, I love that we able to provide this for people, and you know, some people want to see, you know, a face of the artist and build that genuine connection, because folks have heard my voice, but when you see the person, you're like, oh shit, okay, it makes sense. Yeah. And so, like I said, you know, I really appreciate, you know, your time and everything for this as well. So I wanted to ask, is there any new music you're having coming out soon?
Man, I got a song. This comes out Monday.
Okay, yeah. This episode comes out Monday, yes sir.
I got a song on the 16th coming out.
Okay.
So not next Monday, but the one after that.
Okay, so we'll definitely put a sneak peek. We'll put a sneak peek of the song on there, so you guys can get a snippet of it.
It's featuring an artist named Fee.
Okay.
Who lives in Oceanside, but she's from the Bay. She's from the Bay. She's
really?
From San Jose. Yeah.
I actually want to, if she's ever interviewed or open to an interview, I would love to get her on the show. I would love to. Yeah. If she's open to it, invitation's open to you. That would be the second artist actually from the Bay. I actually had one just recently. He was from the Bay as well. Right. His name is Jesus. He goes by the artist name of Jesus. And he's from Oceanside as well, too. He's actually here in Oceanside as well. But I would love to have another artist from the Bay, too.
Yeah, she's great. She's we recorded it like a year ago. Mm-hmm. Finally coming out on the 16th. Mm-hmm. That's on my part. I just been lacking. But yeah, I should have, if everything goes to plan with my timing, I'll have a song every month until the summertime. Okay. Yeah, that's like my plan. That's like the goal.
That's awesome. Hey, but that's good that you at least have an idea. You have your next like short-term year goal. Right. You at least you know what you want to do till the end of the summer. And you know, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing this, you know, the music being released, and you know, seeing the growth. And you know, I pray that you know it does kick off for you even more, and you know, you're out there touring too, like Big Lego Bed too. Like you know, I'm proud of him as well, and proud of John as well for you know, for holding down for Oceanside as well. And you know, it's our turn too to shine as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I will say too. Let me make sure it's the right day.
You're good.
February 22nd.
Okay.
We should have a show in El Cajon or San Diego.
Okay.
Make sure that's the word. 22nd.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you want to come by,
I will definitely make the time. I will make the time to be there, because that's my favorite thing to do, is to be able to show that love and support. And you know, especially getting invited too. It's why not?
Yeah.
Why not? It's
aside from this, you know, just come kick it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Oh, I would love that. Honestly, I would really love that. I appreciate that. You know, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much. So, you know, that we had this opportunity to give the world and the audience of Around the Loop a little bit about who you are, not just as an artist, but as an individual too. Because people forget sometimes that, you know, artists are people too. They're humans. They got emotions. They got feelings too. So it does matter, you know. And like Ryan said, you know, make sure you're out there and you're showing that support, whether it's going to venues, buying the music, CDs, merch. Show that love and support, because it's like, without that, they're not gonna prosper even further. So it's all the support from you guys. Actually.
An Instagram share only goes a long way. It doesn't go that far, but it does help a little bit. But like, I mean, if you can buy the merch, if you can go to a show, man, it truly helps out on the financial aspect of it.
Yes, sir.
You know, a lot of these people do this for a living. They don't make any money from it. So, yeah.
That's the truth, and you know, same thing. Like, you know, if you know, I'll be posting the links out there. Make sure you know you share his content out there. You share the Instagram page, and for the folks Around the Loop, I mean, from audience, I got folks in Canada, now in India, in Singapore,
worldwide.
Yeah, technically, like you say, Mr. Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. Yeah, Mr. 305 for real. Yeah, that's how it feels like. So I remember telling my lady, I was like, I feel like Pitbull. She's like, what? And I was like, Mr. Worldwide. And she was like, she laughed about it. So you did not just say the best, for real, hands down. But it's great, and you know, these folks are gonna be able to hear you, and got folks in the UK too, Ireland, just all over the world. Yeah. It's so cool, and you know, being able to share even that further out there is just it's exciting. It's exciting, and I'm, you know, very thankful for this. Thank you for your time again. And
thanks for having me, man.
So, you know, before we wrap this show up, I wanted to ask. There is 2 questions before we wrap this up. Sure. And, you know, one question is, you know, and you can take your time to really like think about it, because it is something that you can think about it quick, or it takes time. But if you were to see yourself right in front of you, and you know, the little version of you, what message would you tell for yourself, for the younger version of you?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
It is, because some people like have a hard time struggling with that, and this is a way to help them.
I would say this, and I can elaborate a little bit too. Get some rest. And the reason I say that is because I think growing up, I stressed a lot just for little shit, you know. And I don't think even now, bro. I just started therapy not too long ago. Shout out to therapy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I started therapy.
I'm proud of you for doing that, because it takes a lot to do that.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of stuff from my past that I just never addressed that I'm like hitting now, and I'm just like, man, if I took that with a grain of salt, if I didn't like, you know, push it aside when I was younger and like just dealt with it, but like, just get some rest, man. Just like take your time with things and just figure it out on your, like, you know, figure it out. Yeah. And don't try to rush that process. You know, feelings demand to be felt. Like, emotion demands to be felt, and like,
oh, that's powerful, man. I appreciate that. That's powerful.
And it's gonna happen sometime sooner or later. You know, like I'm dealing with stuff when I was, you know, a teenager. You know, now, so I'm just like, get some rest, and just take your time with it, figure it out, because like that's I think a lot of people, especially males, you know, males from Oceanside, specifically, you know, we got like this, you know. This whole thing, you know?
This machismo ego, like, and it's true.
We don't like talking about that shit. I'm just like, nah, it's a real thing. Like I said, emotions demand to be felt, and it's gonna happen sooner or later.
And for a lot of us, it's like, it's like you said, the Oceanside men. It's true, because we get taught like, oh, don't cry, you know, don't do this, don't do that, and it's like, well, like you said, emotions, you know, demand to be felt, and it's true. It's like, if you don't learn how to process those emotions. You're gonna be forever stuck in this loophole and unhappy, a life of unhappiness. And you know, I'm glad that you took that step forward to get help. You know, and for the folks out there, you know, there's no shame in it. Go get some help. It's okay. It's okay. If you think, oh, well, why am I gonna pay a random stranger to talk about?
Take it from me. I used to make fun of therapy.
Okay, that's what I want to ask you. People do that. They bang on it. So like, I want to ask you about that.
And like, I don't know. I got to a point where I had so much going on. I'm like, it's just like my head is just everywhere, bro. And it got to a point where I'm just like I have my EP is called Half Full, and I'll explain it because it all kind of ties in. Okay. My EP is called Half Full because I was going through so much loss at this time when I'm writing this project. You know, I got out of a long-term relationship. I had a couple homies pass away in the same month. I was going through all this stuff, bro, and I just felt like I have like this glass of water. Okay. And I'm just trying to pour it out over time and like pour it out over time, and like once it's finally empty, it's like I'm normal. Like I'm back to normal. I'm not feeling all this weight. But like over time, I'm just like trying to force it. I'm trying to force, you know, this outpour, and I'm like, nah, it's gonna happen over time. Essentially, it's always gonna be half full. So that's where I got the EP name. I'm just like, you just gotta be okay with it being half full and always gonna have certain feelings. So, yeah, bro. I used to like not want to go to therapy. I'm like, I don't need help.
A lot of men say that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'll figure this out on my own. Like, I don't need it. Like, why am I gonna pay someone to like, just like sugarcoat or like give me a blanket statement? But like, yeah, I don't know. Just certain questions they ask and certain things they like tap into. Like, it just hits you. I don't know.
It's the reason why they're professionals, and it's not just your homie that you're pouring your heart out to. The professionals.
Pick a good therapist though, because there's some motherfuckers out there who will just take your money.
That is 100% true. I've heard of some. I haven't done it yet, but I've heard of some, and you know, one day I'll be same thing. One day I'll be ready to start that therapy as well too, because we all go through a lot of trauma growing up and stuff like that, and
and like you have to really want it. You really have to really want to go.
You want to be better for yourself. That's
because like there's people who will tell you to go to therapy, and people are gonna be like, you should try therapy. Blah blah. I just started. Blah blah. It sounds like me, but like half the time, you're not gonna listen to that because like you really have to like hit a point to where you're like, I need this, and that's where I hit. And like I'm not ashamed of it. Like I'm so proud that like I'm proud of myself for going because it's opened so many doors for me, and like. You know, I think it's brought like me and my family closer, and then my band closer. Okay. It's just like, it's only positive things that happen, and it's just worth a shot, man.
I know, and I appreciate you sharing that and being open and transparent with that because, like I said, it's a lot of men don't open up about their emotions, don't talk about it, and you know, get so bottled up to the point where I've lost friends that I wish I would have known what they were going through and stuff like that, and it took them by surprise, and they're no longer here. And stuff like that could have been talked. They could have still been here to this day. So it's like, for all the folks out there, don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. If you don't feel comfortable to a therapist right away, reach out to anybody. It can be friends, family, a random stranger, or even me. Reach out to me too. I'll be out there to talk to you guys.
Take some time for yourself.
True.
True. Breathe a little.
True.
My mom used to say, rest in peace, Mom. She used to say, stressing don't make the money grow. Like, not verbatim. That was her thing. Yeah. That was her, like, was it going to change anything? You stressed out, take your time, relax. I'm like, damn. That's true. Like, that's something we all live by now. Like, all the homies, all my siblings, that's the only thing we live by. Stressing is not going to change anything, truly.
No, it
won't do anything,
Or even bitching and complaining.
Right.
Yeah. It won't
Is it going to make it better? No.
You got to learn that there's always a tomorrow. That, okay, if you don't get it done today, it's cool. There's a tomorrow. There is a tomorrow. Like,
right.
And some people think it's the end of the world, and it's that stress kills. Yeah. It's a silent killer. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Enjoy the sun while you can. That's like a lot of that's like a big theme about the next project I'm dropping. Enjoying the sun because we take it for granted.
It's true. Yeah. For the folks out there, if you haven't had the opportunity to either go out just in the morning, if you have the chance, I know people work and stuff like that, but if you have the chance in the morning, early in the morning when the sun rises, now that it's
the best.
Daylight savings time, the sun's already out by 6 a.m. so it's all right. You can go out there. You can go out there walking. Get that feel for the sun when the sun rises up over the hills, there's no hills here, so once it rises up over the sky, there's no better feeling than getting that connection with that the kiss by the sun.
Yeah.
And I definitely can relate to that.
Yeah,
for sure.
And you're on the res too, so it's like. Whew, man.
Yeah, it's more nature for sure out there. I love it out there. It's such a beautiful community. It really, really is. And big shout out to Palma. It's an amazing.
I gotta make it out there one of these days.
I would love to have you out there. It's honestly a phenomenal place. Super peaceful and just such a great community for real. It really is. And So, I wanted to ask, is there anything else you wanted to share, to the audience about your music? Anything else that you want to, throw out there or?
Man, I hope it takes you somewhere, wherever that is. Yeah, that's really it. Just I hope you figure out a way to relate to it or not, whatever you do. But if you're listening, thank you. Like I said, I have a lot coming out within the next few months.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, the song comes out next week.
That's awesome. I know, and everybody's gonna get to hear a sneak peek of it too, which is super awesome. And do you actually have a name for that song already?
It's called "You Got It," featuring Fee.
Okay.
She doesn't have any music. I think she has one song out with like another feature, but yeah, she doesn't have any music out, but she will soon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, my one and final question, actually, before we actually wrap this up, what is your message to the world, to the folks of Around the Loop?
Oh man,
it can be anything.
It sounds. I think it sounds so cliche, but truly just figure out a way to express yourself and just do it. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. If it's positive, and if you're really just, how do I put this? If you want something like bad enough, you're gonna figure it out.
True. No,
you
true.
know what I mean? Whatever it is, if you're hungry for it, and if that's truly just expressing yourself, getting you to feel a certain way, then figure that out. Figure out whatever it is. For me, it's music. For me, it's writing, really, and just do it because it's gonna help you in the long run. Truly, it'll just, and like a lot of people just don't know how to express themselves, and like that's the main thing I would say. Just find your thing and do it.
No, I appreciate that, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for taking your time for the special episode that, like I said, it's gonna be right out on Monday. So this is Friday. In a couple days, it'll be out on all platforms, and I'm doing my best to give you guys more videos, more better guests and stuff like that. And honestly, I've been blessed with every single guest I've had, so it's just it's been a blessing, one after another.
Hell yeah, bro.
And many more to come. And this isn't gonna be the only episode. The only time we're gonna catch up. We'll be back again. And
for sure.
So Around the Loop, we'll definitely get to see you again.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for this episode.